Enjoy this interview with my neighbor and good friend Cody. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure that you get these episodes every 2 weeks, along with other content Chubby Outfitters is producing to validate and celebrate involved dads. Get over to chobbyoutfitters.com. Thank you for watching.
Yes. We've been trying for a little while, and I was actually outside doing something in the yard. I was going through and I think I was spraying for bees or something. And she had walked out and kind of had a weird look on her face, and she looked at me and said, we're pregnant. And I said, whoa, really? And she said, yeah. And then it kind of hit me right there, like I would always wanted to be a dad. And once I finally found out, it was like, cool, I'm gonna be a dad. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know anything else after that. So I mean, I went through and I researched as much as I could. I found some books I could go and read just to kind of give me some kind of idea of what to expect next. Because you know how to make the baby, but you don't know what to do after that. So
yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny that even though we're trying, and we were trying too, it's still a surprise. Like it's still a shock that day, that actual moment.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens, but that's absolutely was the case for me too.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Longest wait of my life.
Right?
I thought the first 25 years of my life flew by, and then right after we found out, I wanted the baby the next week. I'm a very, very impatient person, and having to even wait a week was rough, but let alone 9 months. And the worst part was towards the very end of it, where baby could come at any time, and you don't know when, you don't know what's going to happen. So I had fun going through and kind of picking some stuff out here and there, and my wife, being very thrifty, found plenty of things to go and buy. And after a while, the baby room started filling up, and that's when it kind of slowly started getting real for me. Before the baby was there, but like you said, it wasn't real until Bailey was born. Big change.
Yeah.
Banana popsicles was one.
I don't know if I've ever had a banana popsicle.
Yeah, that was one that Lindsay was craving quite a bit. Me, I just had whatever. It was definitely rough though. She had a hard time with some smells. So I actually couldn't cook a lot of food because the smell of meat actually cooking made her nauseous. So there were some times where I'd come home and I'd try and be nice and make some food and make a meal that she always used to like, and it made her nauseous. And I was like, well, I don't really know what to do. You don't want this food. I don't know any other recipes.
Yeah.
So that was definitely rough. The craziest part too is my wife loves bacon. And that was one thing that she was completely nauseous of. Could not stand the smell of at all. And that was rough. Even for holidays, we have a tradition at all the holidays. The next morning, her parents wake up and they started making breakfast, and they started making bacon. And Lindsay had woken up, came upstairs, and said we're leaving, and left. She wasn't upset with anybody. It was just the smell.
Just couldn't take it.
It was brutal. Brutal. It's just absolutely crazy. I think the craziest part for me, obviously, the first going through the whole pregnancy, it's such a gradual change, and you see them every day that you don't quite notice it. But after she had the baby, she actually got down to her pre-birth weight pretty quick. But seeing the transition from having a big belly to not having a belly, and then looking back at those pictures, it was amazing to think that her stomach was sticking out as far as it was, and to see that kind of a change, it was just amazing. a fairly solid plan. I mean, we had a lot of the decisions already kind of picked out. We had talked about them long beforehand. I mean, as far as just going through and having the doctors give us different lists and say, you know, what do you want to pick on this? What do you want to do? Do you want to do all the testing that you can? And her and I had talked, and we had said, you know, whatever happens, happens. It's kind of in who's ever hands, and we'll go from there. It's not going to change our decision on having the baby or not. We'll take whatever comes our way. But yeah, it was definitely kind of unnerving to go through that process too, and think about all of the possibilities of what could happen or what wouldn't happen.
What if this or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, I definitely thought about the worst case scenarios, but the way I've always kind of carried myself through life is everything's an experience, and I wouldn't be who I am today without the experiences I've had, good or bad. So, you know, I always kind of just take it and roll with the punches and kind of go through life like that, and that's kind of how I went into the whole birth part of it. I definitely had a big say. We're pretty equal in all of our decisions, but that whole process shocked me at how difficult it actually is. And first of all, how many names there are out there. I never realized the thousands upon thousands of names. We had gone online and found Social Security website has a whole list of names you can go through. And I read through them and kind of slowly picked out names that I liked and picked out a lot of names that I didn't. And obviously the didn't list was a lot bigger than the liked list. And you're going through and you're, no, I don't like that name. I know a person in school like that, and wasn't very fond of them. Or no, I know someone's dog's name is that, so I can't name our kid that. 50-50.
Right down the middle.
Yeah. I'm sure I didn't show how nervous I was in many cases, but I was extremely nervous. I was trying to be strong for my wife when we were going into the whole process, but I don't know, one of the worst parts was just like I said, just the waiting game. We ended up actually having to induce, but that even doing that was rough. I mean, you go and induce and you're still waiting for another 24 hours before anything happens. So that was another change that I remember where it was a drastic difference, where we were in the hospital trying to induce and kind of waiting around, and Lindsay was all kind of happy-go-lucky at the beginning, and then you could definitely see when she hit that wall where her body was starting to transition into wanting to give birth. And I mean, I've got pictures on my phone where she was happy-go-lucky, and then all of a sudden my picture stopped until Bailey was there, and that was the time when it stopped was the time where Lindsay was not feeling too hot, and she was looking for me to help her kind of get through it, and we had family there too, so that was crazy.
Did you feel kind of helpless in the delivery room?
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing I've always thought of with childbirth is there's this weird transition that I had a revelation on a while back. Was during the whole pregnancy, I think the roles kind of get reversed between the man and the woman. I'm not trying to be any stereotypical or anything, but
for you guys at least.
Yeah, you kind of look at it where the guy in the relationship is more physical in many ways. They're the ones that are hey, there's something heavy, go lift it. Could do this. I would take a bullet for my wife in a heartbeat. Whereas the woman is more emotional, more vocal, and I think in pregnancy those roles kind of get reversed. Where her body's taking the whole physical part of it. And I think the guys are really taking a big mental part of it. One thing I had a hard time with was, you know, my wife's the one carrying the baby, and she gets to be with the baby 24/7, and you know, I don't get any of that. I don't get to experience that. So Lindsay really likes ketchup, and when they gave her meal just before everything started kicking in, they gave her one of the little tiny jars of ketchup, and she said, "I think they're trying to limit my ketchup intake." And we all had a giggle, and then I had to take a picture of it and document that. So that was a blast. I'm sure she'll love that I just said that.
That's great.
Yes. Pretty early on in the pregnancy, we were just getting home. Lindsay all of a sudden was starting to get sick. She had morning sickness for the first 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
So we had just gotten home and she was feeling like she had to get sick. We just pulled in the garage, she got out and went to go run inside, and she tripped and fell down the stairs.
Oh.
So that was super scary.
Yeah.
We quickly hopped in the car, went right to the emergency room, made sure everything was okay. Everything ended up being just fine.
Yeah.
But that whole process was pretty scary. And then on top of that, when you're in the hospital, they always go through their normal questions, and one of them was, "Well, are you pregnant?" And Lindsay said yes, and I saw the intake nurse's eyes just get real wide. And we went in because Lindsay's ankle was hurting, and obviously she was pregnant. So we said yes, and he kind of freaked out, and then said, "Well, what happened?" And then he said, Lindsay said, "Well, I fell down the stairs." And I was like, "Oh, great. Here's this stereotypical answer of I fell down the stairs, even though that's what really happened."
Oh, yeah, but you're...
And then everyone's kind of looking at me. Yeah, I'm there with her. So here I'm trying to be supportive and make sure she's okay, but to some outsiders, I may look like, hey, I just shoved her down the stairs. So we're sitting in the room waiting for her to go get x-rays, and they come to get x-rays. And again, they do the normal thing where they just take the patient and bring him back. And I said, "Well, can I come with to make sure everything's okay? Because I'm concerned." He said, "No, you need to stay here." And lo and behold, when she's back there, they're obviously asking more questions.
Yeah.
Do you feel safe? And so that was one where I was definitely scared in the whole situation. But then on top of that, my emotions were getting pulled everywhere. So people are looking at me like, you're not a good person. This is happening. So we had some complications in pregnancy, where Lindsay actually had a wet tap, where spinal fluid was draining out. She had really bad headaches. So she was kind of laid up for the first while, and I definitely had quite a bit of time with Bailey, and it was kind of cool to get that one-on-one time so early. I remember going through and talking about the pregnancy plan. One of the questions was, well, we're going to do skin to skin right away. So first 2 hours, the baby's right on the mom. And I was kind of upset when they said that. I was like, so I just waited 9 months for this baby, and now it's here, and I have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I was pretty upset with that, but it ended up being just fine. I was totally happy to just even see Bailey around.
Hi, B.
So.
This is Philo.
Hi, Philo. No.
Nice.
I have gotten spit up on though.
Okay.
That was a very close call.
Where?
I was holding Bailey up and kind of playing with her, and she all of a sudden spit up, and it didn't go in my mouth, but it went right on the lip. And
I was just gonna say that.
I've been very careful about that, especially after that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, haven't had any of the other things happen yet. She's definitely had some blowouts, but nothing that's really gotten on.
Nice.
Our life didn't change drastically. I mean, now we don't go out quite as much anymore. That's definitely a transition where we used to go out to eat with a lot of friends or go to the movies or kind of do anything we wanted to prior to Bailey, and now it's we're trying to keep a consistent schedule, and sometimes when she's real fussy, we really don't want to go out to the restaurant. That's about the only kind of changes that we've really had in that. Other than that, we still try and visit family when we can, go to different things, but it's definitely starting to get that itch now that she's about 3 months old, that we're looking to transition and look for some babysitters and get a date night in every once in a while so we can just kind of relax. Yeah, those first couple I'm sure are going to be stressful though, being away from her and having somebody else take care of her. But yeah, I think we're in need of having some us time. I mean, there's still little moments here and there where you look back and you're like, wow, this would have been completely different. But now it's just kind of, you come home and you hang out with the daughter and the wife and get to just enjoy life. We think of kind of everything doing together, finding different ways to go and have fun, go on walks all the time now. So, a lot of changes, but I think it's definitely business as usual right now.
That's nice. Yeah, and she's not quite big enough to start, taking her on things you enjoy, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you find that stuff like walks or whatever that
Yeah.
you can do and get together.
Don't get me wrong,
It's
I
good
thought
enough.
of bringing her like fishing or something, but
I actually,
big treble hook or big monster fish coming right at her, I might be a little more protective of that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Really?
first away, I think. Lindsay's had a couple little short days where she's gone, but that was my first one where it was for a good 3-4 days. Just to
So I've heard two ends of the spectrum on this. I've got friends that are like, oh gosh, I pulled away and I like couldn't stop thinking about them.
Hmm?
But I'm sort of on the other end of that. Like I really needed to get away a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just felt like freedom.
Yeah. Oh, I think
That's
I was kind of 50-50 on
You're
that.
somewhere in there.
I mean, I was stoked to kind of get away and be able to not have to think about Bailey for a while, but I found myself when I was there, whenever we had a little downtime or anything, I pulled my phone out and was checking out pictures of her. And,
Yeah.
I mean, my wife was sending me different photos of her throughout the day, and so those were really nice to see, and just seeing her smiling face. I mean, I'm sure I looked goofy sitting over in the corner of the cabin
Yeah.
with a massive smile on my face looking at my phone, but I think most of the guys knew that were there that, you know, I just had a baby, and that's
Did
kind of what I was
some
going
of them
through.
have kids, all of them have kids?
Yeah, some of them did.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah, so that definitely helped, and I was able to, obviously I'm going around showing all these guys pictures, which is funny here.
Yeah.
Showing all these kind of harder guys, these little pictures of my daughter who's in this cute little dress and smiling from ear to ear, and
Yeah.
you know, you show it to those guys melt too. So
Yep.
it's definitely a new experience to see that with different guys, because here you grow up being a guy and you're always trying to fight, trying to be tough, trying to do whatever, and then you go and see these guys, and most of them are just teddy bears.
Yeah.
You show them a little picture of a little girl in a cute dress, and
Mhm.
they may not show it in front of everybody, but they'll show it in front of people they're comfortable with.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
cute. So. We're trying to.
Planned out.
It's definitely a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah.
And not just because we're not being consistent or anything, but just because life kind of gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
We were doing really, really good for a week or two, and then we brought her to my brother's graduation party, and everyone wanted to see her for the day.
Yeah.
And so she stayed up that whole day and ended up just being super crabby because she was tired, but did not go to bed that night until 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then she was off for the next week. So.
I can't believe that overtired is a thing.
Oh.
But wow. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, so I think that's
Big
one of the
deal.
hardest parts, and then just being consistent with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, life kind of gets in the way sometimes, and
Mhm.
obviously you kind of get into some old habits where you just want to go do something, and
Yeah.
you end up not being able to. My dad, pretty good dad. There's definitely some things that I think I would like to do differently from him, just like he would like to do differently from his dad. I think.
Yeah.
Kind of going along with my philosophy that I said earlier, where you know everything happens for a reason, and you grow from each of that. I don't want to protect my kids from all the bad things that could happen. Obviously, I want to keep them safe. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I think experiencing those bad things teaches them a lot, and it will also teach them coping skills for a lot of that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, relating that back to how I'm gonna be, I still want to protect them. I want to do everything I can for them.
Yeah.
But there's certain situations where I think that, you know, I'll let them kind of go and see how they're gonna figure some things out. I want
Yeah.
them to learn too.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna be a real rough balance, and it's gonna be a learning experience for me and for my kids. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure that philosophy will change or develop as I go.
I think that's a
Well, that was
strong
That
thing.
was something I kind of learned too when I used to be an RA when I was going through college.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some kids where they came in. I mean, kids is a very loose term. They're 18-year-old adults that need to figure life out. And they were somewhere. They didn't know how to do their own laundry. They didn't know how to go and grocery shop. Or obviously, the freshman 15 is a thing when kids don't know how to eat. That was one where I kind of had an issue with it. My mom definitely made meals and they were healthy, and
Yeah.
that was the one that I struggled with. So I'm not left out of that whole thing, but
Yeah.
it's definitely skills that people need to learn and need to figure out for themselves. And it's rough to see 18-year-olds not know how to do laundry. So that was one thing where, my kids are gonna do chores, they're gonna do laundry, they're gonna do things like that, just so they can have those skills, even if they don't do it all the time, for them to know when it's time for them to kind of be on their own, that they need to know how to do some things. Yeah, I've kind of thought about it, just kind of looking at the different generations that I know and how they've kind of raised kids. I know a long time ago, like right around with my grandparents, a lot of dads kind of weren't involved. It was all the mom and the kids kind of doing everything, and the dad was just kind of going back and forth, making money, and kind of went from there. And I mean, there's still people today that do that, and to each their own. I feel for them, but I want to be a parent where I'm involved. Yeah. If I could, I would not be working. If we had enough money, I would be with the family 24/7, doing everything I can to teach her, to go through and teach my daughter every little life skill I possibly could. Teach her how to go fishing, tie knots, climb trees, not just girl things, but boy things too. I want her to experience all of that. I want her to be able to make decisions in life and say, I really liked going rock climbing that one day. I want to be a rock climber. Yeah. Instead of just, I played with dolls and hair all the time. I wanted to go be a hairdresser. Yeah. And if that's what she wants to do, great. I support her 100%. But, I want her to make those decisions. I don't want anyone to make those for her. I told Lindsay I had a rough time too. We had the baby and got to hang out for a week, and then I was back to work like normal. Yeah. And that was rough because that initial transition of all of a sudden being with your daughter 24/7 for the first week of her life, and now it's, I've lost a lot of time while I'm at work. There's little things that I don't get to see all the time. So little smiles and stuff. Thank goodness we have technology to take pictures and videos, and so I'm not missing everything. But there's certainly little things that I feel I've missed already. I've definitely called them a couple times now and said, I totally know what you're going through, and it's rough. I think the hardest thing I've had, I haven't talked to them too much about it, but it was just some of the crying that happens. I mean, obviously it's inevitable, but it's rough sometimes when you don't know what's going on.
And you don't, you're supposed to.
Oh yeah.
You're not sure what's going on.
You've got a list of all the different things that could be wrong: feeding, changing, sleeping, everything. And when you can't find that out, you set them down and you just let them scream. But it is not easy. No. Probably the hardest part. The closest I've ever been to crying or screaming is definitely when she's screaming, just because you don't want to see her cry.
Yep.
At the same time, again, she's got to kind of figure out her own coping mechanism. And it's hard too to gauge where that line is, where you start that.
Yes.
Obviously, infants are going to cry either way, but you don't want to let them cry for too long, and you still want to let them cry so they can learn some of those mechanisms. And there's research left and right that shows it either way.
You're going to screw them up no matter what you do.
Oh yeah, that's exactly, and that's what frightens me, is so many different things that you could do to really mess their kids up. But I mean, it's nice to have friends to lean on and ask them those questions, like, what do I do? Yeah. And I think what it's ultimately come down to is some people have said, let them scream for a little while. If you have to set them down for your own sanity, set them down. My mom has told me multiple times now, she said, I think you're starting to learn that timeout was never for the kid. It was always for the parent. So I obviously, with Bailey only being 3 months old, there's not any real timeouts for her or anything, but there's certainly been times where I've set her down and had to walk away for a little bit and just kind of let her scream for a bit. But now she's starting to get to the point where I think she's learned some of those coping mechanisms to kind of calm herself down and soothe herself, and that's.
Hey, you listened all the way to the end. Thank you, and thank you to Cody for doing this with me. Get over to chobbyoutfitters.com if you want to find the podcast version of this episode. It's a longer, extended cut, as well as my responses to Cody. We also have other content over there, like tips from my wife, the pediatrician. Keep checking out chobbyoutfitters.com. Get signed up with us to get all this content delivered to you. Thanks for watching and subscribe to our YouTube channel.